crypto warriors, changing our world day by day. The way of the crypto warriors, can't rely on the bankers, no way.
Hey guys, Bix Weir, roaddoor.com with your morning horn of your sip of chaga coffee. All right, want to hear something amazing? You know the flurry of last weekend's silver crisis. Oh my God! Nobody's got silver. Hundreds of millions of ounces deposited into SLV. Physical silver. No dealers have any. The U.S. Mint, every mint in the world has stopped production. Look where we are. We are exactly where we started. That is the power of price suppression. This is not the first time this has happened. This always happens. With a click of a mouse, they can set the price of silver to zero or negative, just like they did in oil, or $1 million an ounce. That's how effed up our financial system is. With the creation of the computer trading programs by Alan Greenspan in the early 1960s and 70s, implemented into the Exchange Stabilization Fund, run through the bullion banks, certain people have taken it over. Drexel Burnham got burned by the silver short. AIG got burned by the silver short. Bear Stearns got burned by the silver short. And now JP Morgan's been burned by the silver short. JP Morgan is no longer short. JP Morgan paid $982 million for being short. But JP Morgan still orchestrates the criminal cabal that controls the price. Right now, it's JP Morgan's running the inventories. BlackRock is orchestrating the whole thing through SLV. Virtu Financial is orchestrating all the computer trading programs, and then you got a handful of banks. The big banks, you know the names: Barclays, UBS, Scotia, Goldman Sachs, of course. Citibank. Keep an eye on Citibank. So that's where we are. And they claim, if you listen to my interview, by the way, it is posted at Beyond Mystic 2, the interview with David Morgan, myself, and Jean-Claude. I run through how this game is played. Another great interview, Ted Butler. Ted Butler just did an interview posted on YouTube at Palisades Gold Radio. Ted Butler crushing the silver short position. Ted talks about the leasing of metal by JP Morgan into SLV. BlackRock is supposed to have fiduciary responsibility to the shareholders of SLV. BlackRock has hired the number one prime criminal, as admitted to in silver short manipulation. JP Morgan runs the inventories for BlackRock, the largest inventory in the world of silver, over 700 million ounces. And oh, by the way, JP Morgan has the largest COMEX with 49.999999% of all COMEX warehousing is done at JP Morgan. They don't want to hit 50%. That might raise a red flag. And the DOJ fined them $982 million, the largest fine ever. At what point do we say, what the fuck? This whole thing is rigged. The whole thing is criminal. Ask yourself, who owns SLV Silver? It's not the shareholders. I don't even think it's BlackRock. What happens to the money? When the shareholders put money in, what happens to it? And they think they're buying a share. They think they're buying 1 ounce. 1 share of SLV equals 1 ounce of silver. So the money is exchanged. The fiduciary responsibility of BlackRock is to put that 1 ounce of silver into a warehouse. Do they do that? Well, it sure does look like it. They put 700 and they're up to 720 or so, 730 million ounces of physical silver in the warehouse. Who else claims that as their asset? Whose asset is it really? Is it BlackRock, the owner of the trust? Is it JP Morgan, the custodian of the silver? Is it the authorized participant that put it in there with a call option to take it out at any time? And then what is done with that silver? Where is the ownership? Is that leased silver? Has that been audited? Is it the sole property without any encumbrances of the trust? I would say no. Not at all. All the authorized participants can pull out what they put in at any time. And those authorized participants are the major shorts on the COMEX. That's how they justify it to the CFTC. This is a Ponzi shell game. The same thing's happening at the DTC with shares of GameStop. Is it legal to have 150% of the total float short? No. And that's the sick thing is, it was up to 150%. So, meaning all the shares, I think it was 70, let's just say 70 million shares of GameStop out there, and then 120 million were shorted when this game started. Now, you're supposed to borrow or have access to a share. You can't sell something you don't own. The brokerage houses are supposed to deal with that. They don't deal with it at all. The DTCC is supposed to monitor it. They don't monitor it. There's hearing coming up with the lovely Maxine Waters, probably the biggest criminal in Congress, and she's going to be saying, "Who? You rich people. How did she afford 2 luxurious houses working on a congressman's salary? How many audits have been done by the Financial Services Committee of their? Let's talk about every single. If you get called up to testify in front of this committee, go down to each member and say, how are you involved with Citadel? What is your stock portfolio? Who makes donations to your account? And then why are you up here lecturing me because I'm a little guy and I made a hell of a lot of money by exposing your fraud? They're going to pull some guy who made the most money, they think, who started it all. Oh, we got to get this guy. He was getting the little investors in when he shouldn't have been getting them in. Every single one of those people on that board that is going to be grilling the Robinhood and Citadel and the whole fraud. Why isn't JP Morgan up there? Why isn't BlackRock up there? BlackRock made a huge investment in GameStop back in November, December. This was all planned. This is not some random thing that happened. I want to see, what's his name, Larry Fink up there. I want to see BlackRock held their feet to the fire. If you want to get to the truth, Financial Services Committee, first of all, do an audit of everybody on the Financial Services Committee. Check out who made deposits to their campaigns. How did people like Maxine Waters become rich? How did Nancy Pelosi become rich? The spokesperson now for the White House, her husband apparently works for Citadel. All this bullshit needs to be revealed. This is the heart of the fraud. Again, listen to this Ted Butler. I 100% agree with Ted. He can't go down the conspiracy route, but I can. I think he's 100% right that JP Morgan sopped up while shorting the COMEX over the last 8 years has gotten over 1 billion ounces of physical silver. Why is it okay for JP Morgan to get 1 billion ounces of physical silver, but it wasn't okay for the Hunt brothers to get 100 million ounces of physical silver? And now JP Morgan's going long on the COMEX, and they're leasing out their silver, so it's triple short. This is a mess. It is a shell game beyond all shell games. And it will take down the entire financial system, and we deserve it. Believe it or not, for people not standing up and screaming about it, you deserve to lose everything you got. And you deserve to blame the people who are to blame. The banking system, the government regulators, and the government itself. If America ever wants to be great again, we need to completely trash the old system. Get rid of it. It'll get rid of itself. All you got to do is allow manipulation to end. But the regulators won't do it. The exchanges won't do it. The bankers won't do it. The hedge funds won't do it. It's going to have to be done organically. The only way you can save yourself, which is what you can do, is get physical silver in your own possession. Make sure it's the real thing. Only buy from reputable dealers. Buy in the smallest quantities available. Pre-1965 coinage is the best. It's really hard to fake a mercury dime. Like, really hard. And it's not worth the money to do. And there's huge penalties, fees, and prison time for counterfeiting U.S. currency, which is what money printed by the U.S. Mint is. So you not only have fraud, like if you buy a fake 100-ounce bar with tungsten in the middle, you can claim fraud on whoever sold it to you if they don't buy it back and give you your money back. With a silver eagle, you can claim fraud, and oh, by the way, there's counterfeiting laws that also apply, and they'll go to jail for a hell of a long time. There's a lot of fakes coming out of China. Make sure you weigh your silver, and if you got small denominations, give it the magnet test. Silver is not magnetic. If it sticks to a magnet, that's not silver. Keep that in mind. All right. So where are we? I don't know where we are, truthfully. I think we're in land of insanity. This upcoming hearing will be interesting. If I was getting grilled by the Financial Services Committee, I would do my homework on every single one of those congressmen who are on that committee, starting with Maxine Waters, where she got her 2 houses, where she made her millions of dollars on a congressman's budget, which is not that much. These people have to have their feet held to the fire. As soon as they start grilling you, you fire back right away. How can you sit on this board if you're an investor in Citadel, which owned Robinhood, which stopped the traders from buying? How can you sit on this board? Why are you asking me? I should be grilling you. You work for me. We need to flip this equation. Maxine Waters, probably the dumbest person in Congress, besides AOC, is the head of the Financial Services Committee. Are you kidding me? Meanwhile, all the silver dealers are saying, hey, we got 10-week delays or 10-day delays. If you order anything, it'll be 10 days. They have no idea when they're going to get the metal. Oh, wait, 10 days. And then it's going to be another 10 days. Sorry, oh, shit, sorry. Another 10 days. I don't know where this is going. Your best bet, go to your local coin shop. Buy whatever they got. Yes, you're going to pay through the nose. Buy whatever they got. We're going to see another run up pretty soon. It might be this weekend. Now, remember, what happened last weekend, all the traders, they didn't know how much demand, so they didn't hedge their demand. They sold a hell of a lot more than they had. We have another weekend coming up. What are they going to do this weekend? They don't have any metal, but they don't want to give up a sale. They want to take care of their current customers, and they want to get brand new customers. They're going to say, oh, yeah, I'll sell it to you 10 days delay. 10 days delay. With everybody saying 10 days delay, what's going to happen in 10 days? Is everybody going to get their metal? Hell no. I'll guarantee you these 10 days delay will probably be for infinity days delay. Go to your local guy. It's time to go local. Get your physical silver. Yes, I do recommend Andy Scheckman. He'll only ship you what he's got in inventory. If it's going to be 10 days delay, that means he doesn't have it yet. And don't order that specific silver. But if he says, yeah, I got this in inventory, I can send it to you, that's the one you want to buy. Send an email to Andy Scheckman, andy@milesfranklin.com. None of these silver dealers, they're just going off the past. In the past, yeah, it's been about 10 days since things, since new coins get minted or coins come back into the market. This is different. It is such a different time. Get your physical silver from your local dealers. Go down. It's time to meet them anyway, because those are the guys you're going to be selling when silver hits $500, $600, $700. That's when you go back in there and say, hey, I need to buy a car. Here's 3 ounces of silver. Those are the guys who will be buying it too. They'll be just scrambling for inventory. And Andy buys all the time. No one's willing to sell their silver right now. Andy said, hey, I would love to buy as much silver as any retail customer wants to sell me. And he'll pay over spot for most of it. Go for it. If you don't think silver is a long-term hold, now's a good time to sell. The silver game is ending. Information's getting out there, and it's a beautiful thing. And yes, it will take down the entire banking system. Yes, your grandmother's retirement fund will be gone. But the mortgage on our house will be gone too, so is that such a big deal? What's the biggest problem on planet Earth these days is debt. Crashing of the banking system, all debt is erased. Completely gone. No, it won't be Nesra or Jesra or any of those other, the quantum financial system. No, it's not going to be XRP. What will it be? I think it'll be in the U.S. Every country will have to decide for themselves. They will stop trading with each other. Every country will have to decide for themselves what they want to use as money. I think in the U.S. it'll be gold because we have so damn much of it. There's billions and billions of ounces of gold in the U.S. that we don't tell anybody about, but most people know about it behind the scenes. Your everyday Joe gold bug who's on YouTube doesn't have any idea. They haven't read Peggy and Sterling Seager's book, Gold Warriors, about Yamash's gold. They haven't read the Karen Lee Bixby report on the Chocolate Mountain gold. They haven't read all my research on the gold in the Grand Canyon found in 1912, announced on the front page of the New York Times in 1912. Actually, I think it was the second page. Billions and billions of ounces of gold found in the Grand Canyon. Bang! Woodrow Wilson shut it down and created the Federal Reserve right then. This is not rocket science. Just do your research. Don't believe what the guys like Jeffrey Christian will tell you. Don't believe the old gold bugs who said, oh, Bix, you're crazy. There's only 200,000 tons of gold that's ever been mined in the world. That is not true. That is the biggest lie told to mankind. One of the biggest. This is the end game on the road to Ruta. If it seems chaotic, it should be. It's going to get more chaotic. It's going to get a hell of a lot worse, and this blame will go all around. At the end of the day, trust is going to be lost. So we're not going to trust the guys setting up the new quantum financial system. We're not going to trust the guys who control and own 60% of XRP. We're not going to trust anything but what you have in your hands. And yes, you can have cryptocurrencies in your hands. I can print you out a paper wallet if you really want something physical. I can print you out a paper wallet. It's like gold, baby. It's just like gold, except better. Bitcoin has a finite amount of coins that can ever be printed. 21 million. That's it. Gold? Who the hell knows how much gold there is in the world? There's over 1 trillion tons in the sun. That's an interesting thing. I was talking to Cliff. He was talking about old reports of like 100-mile-long coronal mass ejections of gold reported by the military back when his dad was in the military. His dad was pretty high up there in the military intelligence. What would that do? Is that how gold got to the planet? Was there a coronal mass ejection that split the Grand Canyon wide open and deposited all that gold there? Sure does look like it was if you watch the remote viewing of the Grand Canyon that I did with the crypto viewing guys. The world, nothing about the world is the same. Everything is different. And now is the time to open the kimono. We're going to find out, oh my God, we're not alone in the universe. Of course we aren't. We weren't the first high-tech intelligent society on this planet. Of course we were not. We can't even make the pyramids today. How did we do it 15,000 years ago? Whatever they say. It's ridiculous. The whole thing is a joke. You have been lied to. Those are the people we cannot trust going forward. JP Morgan will be gone. Deutsche Bank will be gone. The Federal Reserve will be gone. The U.S. government will be gone. And we can make our way forward ourselves. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created. Read that whole Declaration of Independence, and you'll understand what we're about to do. We're about to declare ourselves sovereign entities, separate from this crazy government that we were thrown in. Very exciting times. So every precious metal dealer you talk to will see, due to extreme order volumes, please expect delivery delays. Is there extreme order volume still? Then they should be hedging it, right? Or did they take too many orders last weekend? Everybody did because they didn't know there would be this massive shortage, and now they can't get any. So why are they saying 10 days delayed? Why don't they say 100 days delayed? Why don't they say you'll never get it? If you're waiting on silver and they pass their delivery due date, say, I'd like my money back Go down to your local coin shop and buy the silver. APMEX, same thing. Due to increased volume, well, 3 to 5 days. Apparently, APMEX knows what's going on. There you go. Anybody out there gets APMEX? Let me know if they hit their 3 to 5 day. If you order today, they're saying 3 to 5 day delay. Let me know if they hit that. I think next weekend's going to be another crazy weekend because these dealers don't know what to hedge. They have no idea. Have they already hedged their inventory? Or is their book broken already? I don't know. Chaos. Expect chaos. If you're looking for chaos, join Road to Root, a private road. No Jenny Moonstone discussion this week. We couldn't get our schedules ready. But next week we are on, and I'll be putting out some stuff for the private road all weekend. And pretty much not doing many videos till next week on YouTube. So private road stuff, yes. Keep you guys informed. Definitely get your theta now. We're approaching the end of the month, and they got a whole bunch of things coming down the line. You're going to want to be in theta, especially April 28th. Hint, hint. Bix Weir, I'll talk to you later.